Not sure how this one's going to turn out, but it's my first shot at my first kick at the cat. Doing a little trip up the West Branch Road here, heading up north of Webwood, and we're going to see if we can get a few specks this weekend. Birds opens Thursday, so it's fair game for maybe a few birds then. Anyways, I'd like to say hello to everybody, and hopefully I can put some in for some stuff or a little bit of footage on this little channel to encourage other people to be able to get out there and do a little fishing and hunting and enjoy the great outdoors that we have. And even for an old retired guy like myself, it's kind of nice to get out. Yeah, this nice little memorial. Jordan Anstey, I guess, or Ansley, and no L in there. Anyways, it looks like the young lad or the man was a fisherman. It's kind of a nice little memorial to him. I'm not sure what happened, but if somebody watches this and knows the fellow that used to be here, please leave a comment below, and you know, it's kind of nice to see. Anyways, here's where I used to fish years ago. Good chum of mine, Gerald Francis Watts. We did a lot of fishing here. So this is for you, Jerry. Gonna miss them good old days. Anyways, now we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go up to one of the little speck lakes. I'll take a little walk over and see what the water looks like from up top. I don't know if you can get down to it. Might be quite the walk. Oh, see, there's a nice little moose track. I don't know if you can see it. That's just been maybe a day, well, not even a day. That's probably from this morning. She rained last night, so that's a fresh track. Something's up here. Nice little body of water down there. She might be a little sketchy trying to get the quad down there, but it might be something I can try sometime. You know what? I kind of wish I would have brought a fishing rod now. Anyways, I'm going to check it out on GPS and see what my map says. See what if it's got a name or something, or where it is with respect to where I'm camped, and maybe I can make a trip back up here. Little dam that they had built years and years and years ago. I guess to form the lakes, the body of waters. I guess the lake's a lot lower now than it used to be, based on the dam is kind of not really doing its job as well as it used to. I've seen another place. There's a couple of them on this lake where they've held back the water. They used to do that for logging. I guess they can float the logs down. They go from one lake to the other via some kind of a chute or whatever it is that they were able to facilitate moving logs. It's kind of interesting. This is probably, I don't know, I'm going to guess maybe 1900s and 1920s, 1930s maybe, when this dam was built. Again, it's my best guess. Somebody else, if they know, leave a comment below. They might know a little bit more about it than I do. I just seen it. They don't look like blacksmith nails. I think they're round nails, but yeah, they're all round nails. So they're not maybe as old as I actually like to believe it was. Well, I just can imagine the amount of labor that went in to build this thing. Wow, pretty impressive. Anyways, there's a couple, 3, maybe 4 along this waterway. This is basically where I was come up to go fishing yesterday. I thought I'd get some videos of maybe showing a few pictures of a walleye being pulled out of the lake or pike, and didn't get a bite after about 4 or 5 hours of fishing. So I put the camera away and I said, that's not very interesting. So I'm not sure what kind of an angle this is. I'm not sure how this is going to look. Anyways, here's what it's all about. A good day out fishing, good day out hunting. You don't have to necessarily get anything, because I don't always do. Didn't get any fish, but I did get a couple of birds, which is okay. Well, I'd like to have about 5. Nice to get 5, but I tell you what, I got enough that I was able to have one for supper 2 nights in a row now, which was pretty darn good. I had one, cooked it up, fried it up nice, made a little spaghetti, mixed it in. Like I said, not much of a sauce, but with a little butter on that would taste it pretty darn good. Anyway, that time of night where I come in, I like to sit down, relax, and here's my little refrigerator. Thank God it's here. It works and keeps things nice and cool. I'll put that in there, plastic, and sit down and have myself a wobbly pop. One of the finest things you can have at the end of the day. Makes you kind of feel like it's all worth it. Anyways, cheers to y'all, and hopefully y'all get a chance to come out and enjoy the outdoors someday. Oh, I only brought 2 beers, so it's either buy gas for the truck and come fishing, or buy beer. Tell you what, I don't mind giving up the beer and coming fishing. Why do I say loader? Well, if you look inside, you can see some other boulders. I don't know if you can see them in there. Or rocks, I should say. Yeah, they're that's probably a little bit of a Gabion rock there. Something that was picked up with the shovel. Anyways, it's kind of interesting to see. Here we are, way back in the bush, and you never know what you're going to run into. So looking for a few birds, but I don't know if you can tell. The bush is pretty thick, a little bit early. Maybe another, I don't know, couple of weeks, month. She should be a little bit better. This is what Northern Ontario landscape looks like. But here on the Sudbury area, or Algoma district, you're going to be not going too far. You can hear that squirrel there chattering at me. You're not going to go too far in the bush, and you're going to be walking up rocks like that. She's pretty rough terrain. There's the bike on the old road. Yeah, I guess, I don't know when this road was done. She's back a few years. Look at the size of some of these trees. There, for you guys that have never seen a cut area, this is what they call an old cut. It's been cut over probably about maybe 5-6 years ago, and replanted. You can tell some of the trees have starting to sprout up pretty good here, and they replanted, I guess, with some kind of an evergreen tree, something that they can harvest again in the sometime future. Anyways, a lot of people hunt these cut areas. They get up there to themselves, nice little vantage point on top of one of them hills maybe, and they can scope it over pretty good and look and see if there's anything. I did see a fresh set of cow and calf tracks that was pushing up in front of me. I was coming up to the hill here, but then they kind of wandered off to the right, and Lord knows where they are right now. But that's what people would do. They would just sit there and they'd glass it over, go from hill to hill, and try to see what they can see. Not too many tags nowadays for moose hunting up here. They've kind of weaned the hunters off of the tag hunting in this area. One time it was pretty good. You could get a tag pretty easily, or say readily, but not anymore. They're starting to come around again. The moose population is picking up. There's no doubt about it in my mind, because I'm seeing more and more sign, and I am seeing more moose when I'm up here in the summertime. Anyways, just thought I'd show somebody that's never seen a cut area what some of the areas that they hunt looks like, and this is basically it. She's just been cut over, and I can see she's you got a big animal standing away over there. She's hard enough to see, but when they move is when you're probably going to spot it, and that's when you put the binoculars on them. Okay, good for now. Yeah, here we are again. I don't know if you can see it very well. Cow and the calf tracks coming up the hill right here. That's the ones I was just talking about over there. I just kind of stopped because I could see this little lake way off in the distance there, so I had to try to take out my GPS and say, okay, where at what possibility could that lake be? It doesn't really show me too much when I look at the GPS here. I don't know if you can see it very well. Probably not. Not a very good screen. Not very well lit. Anyways, if you can see it on there, it is not really showing me much. Just looks like a bit of a swamp back there. Yeah, it's too bad these things don't work better than that. You can see what I'm looking at on my GPS. Anyways, just thought I'd show you that. Move off there, the hills. You can see the tree line where they started to cut. And that's the size of the trees down the hill there, what they were cutting up the top side here. You can see the bit of a color way off in the distance. Some of the maple and the oak is starting to change, and I don't know, more evergreen up here. Probably won't see too much color, but it is very nice, pretty sight when it does happen. Gets to know, lets you know that definitely winter is on its way, coming around the corner. Figured by the time I thought of it, take the camera out, maybe take a few pictures of them. Guess what? Never seen another spruce hen. Anyways, not much of a success today. I did get 2 grouse and 1 spruce hen. I was hoping for my limit, which would be 5 in total. Would have been nice to get 5 grouse, ruffle grouse, rather than the spruce hen. Spruce hens are good to eat, but not quite as good as table fare as the ruffle grouse. Anyways, I got my little stove all ready to go for tonight. Picked up a little bit of kindling, spark it up. It does get awful hot in here. It doesn't get cool enough at night. It gets down, I think it was about 3 degrees last night, 3 degrees Celsius. So it's still above freezing. I'm thinking a little bit later on in the fall, this year might be a little bit, I don't know, a little bit nicer to burn a little bit in here. I try to keep the fires down low, but it still gets extremely hot in here. That's just the way it goes though. Anyways, yeah, about 30 miles on the bike, 30 kilometers on the bike today, which would be about 20 miles, I would guess. It's a lot of driving. Some of these crazy old trails, they're pretty rough. Did have a look at the dam again. It was kind of nice to see. I remember seeing it a long time ago. Remember the wife and I took a drive up, and I do believe we drove to that dam, or it was the other one on the other side, back about 1970, probably about 74, 73, 74, when we were probably before we were married, to come for a ride, or it might have been shortly after. I can remember a guy at Inco, the company I work for, used to tell me about this Levici Lake, and he swore by it for a big pike. And I always thought, geez, I'd love to get up there because I do like my pike fishing. Finally got it. Here we are, 2002. I've been coming up here for 3 years now. Took me a long time. Took me a long time to finally be able to get the time to retire, get myself a little bit of a trailer camper to sleep in. Try to sleep in the back of the truck in the cab, like I see some of the guys do it. I watched a couple of videos where people, that's what they do. But I'm just a little too old for that. A little too old. Anyways, the camper works out not too bad. Great for one person. Might even be a little bit small for the one person, because I just bring a lot of stuff. Hell of a lot of piles. Hell of a pile of stuff. Anyways, all good though. Gives me a place I can cook in here. Like I say, a little heat. I do have a diesel heater, one of the Chinese spin-offs of a diesel heater, and it works pretty darn good. You know, it's not something I would want to rely on, but so far it's held its own. It's held its own. It's not something you could turn on and thermostatically control. I mean, it does have a thermostat on it, but all it does is ramp down. It's not like a conventional one where it would shut off and then cycle itself when it demanded heat again. So, which is the sad part, because I can't leave it on when I'm not here. It runs on 12 volt. My solar system worked pretty good yesterday. Didn't have the boat up top, and it was nice and sunny. You know, it was charging. Showed my batteries were nice and full. Today I looked, we're down a little bit on the battery. So, anyways, not too bad. Only got one more night here, and then it's back home tomorrow. Go home and see my wife and my puppy Bella. And hopefully they miss me as much as I miss them. And that's it. Thanksgiving come up in a couple of weeks, and hopefully to make another trip up here. In the meantime, I might try to spend some time or get away, go to my cottage, and spend a couple of nights. Let the puppy come on with me and let her run around. She's a lot of energy in that puppy, and she needs to run. She needs to run, and I can't rely on the wife to do it all. I have to do my part too. So, as much as I love camping, fishing, the great outdoors, it's one of these things that I have to get home to help my wife. Okay, signing off for now. Talk to you later.